Hi, this is Elizabeth Griffin, your independent author from South Philadelphia, and today I want to talk about a new series that I am considering. It would be geared towards young women between the ages of, let's say, 18 and upward to maybe like 25, 30. Obviously, the storyline anyone can read, but I've been thinking a lot about hypergamy and how in my life I never considered dating or marrying on my level or above. I just assumed that I would meet someone, fall in love with them, and live happily ever after. Not thinking about finances, not thinking about who I give my womb to, not thinking about the consequences of possibly raising children as a single mother or as a single parent. And I have no regrets with my life, and I have no regrets with the choices that I made. However, I would like to leave a legacy of books for young women that talked about the consequences of choosing a mate, and the consequences of choosing a mate that is not a provider, that doesn't want to help you raise your family, or isn't going to be there for you throughout the whole term of the child's life. And also, even giving your heart to someone and your body to someone, and just assuming and taking it for granted that you and that person that you chose have the same religious beliefs, the same philosophical beliefs, and that at some point in your life, those beliefs and those ideas won't change. So in this series, it would be lighthearted, and as I said, it would be romance, and it'd be young adult or women 18 and above. But it would just talk about the characteristics of a man and the characteristics that you may want in a partner. So right now I'm at my favorite spot, and I'm going to continue this video. It's a beautiful day. It's my girlfriend's funeral today. That's why I'm dressed in all black. But I wanted to take a moment and to make this video. And as I said, it would be a lighthearted look at hypergamy, and it could show the fun side of it. It could show the downside of it, the comical side of it. But basically, it would just be a warning to young women, a lighthearted warning to young women, and even to young men, that your life partner, the person that you choose, it shouldn't be a random choice. It shouldn't be opting out of the responsibility by just picking the first person that comes along, or just because he looks good and he's attractive, that he has the qualifications of a husband or of a mate. You would want to look at finances. You would want to look at credit scores. You would want to look at his philosophy. Is this man a man that's going to stick around when it gets really hard, when the finances get really hard? Do you want to be educated before you begin a family? Have you even thought about beginning a family and what that would take? What do you want in a man? You know, when I was young, I just thought I would meet somebody, fall in love, and that would be that. And actually, my other thought was that I'm going to get this out of the way, finding a guy, finding my mate. I'm going to get it out of my way, something that I can check off on a list, and then I can move on to going to school and other things. And it's not a decision that you can make lightly. It's not a decision where you just check off a box and then it's over. And then what do you want from this man? And when you're going to be intimate with them, it's not just a weekly thing. It's going to be continual. It's going to be year after year. How are you going to make your sex life exciting and enjoyable? And there's obviously going to be temptations on both parts. Because you're in a committed relationship doesn't mean that you won't still be find other people attractive. Will you be able to control those desires or the awareness that other people are attractive sexually or mentally, and that you find conversations with other people exciting and stimulating? What safeguards will you put in place so that you don't stray away from your marriage. How strongly do you feel about your vows? How much do you love your partner? And then are you two growing together? These are things that I want to talk about in this series. So let me know what you think of this series. I haven't quite decided on a title, and it would be part of my Red Velvet Delight romance series. So it would be a sub-series within a series. So Red Velvet Delight romance is my category romance line, and it started at 1, and it's going to go on till as long as I can write romances. But within that series, I may have many series, and this would be one, the Hypergamy series. And what sparked this idea, as I said, was listening to all the conversations online, listening to the women talking about leveling up and not choosing a man that is not motivated to want to provide for the family and want to be a contributor. And I also heard something yesterday on one of the YouTube channels that really sparked this idea, and also was very disheartening. It was a young woman that said she married a man and had 8 kids with him, and then he just couldn't take it, and he left. And I just think about the women that I see struggling, the women that I see trying to provide for their families and trying to work a full-time job and doing daycare and going to the doctors and being on call as a mother 24/7 from birth until, if you ask me, until forever. My children are a lot older and they're independent, but I'm still mom. I'll always be mom as long as I have breath, as long as I breathe. So listening to her and listening to the struggles that she's going through, it just tugged at my heart, and it made me remember some of my own trying times when I didn't have daycare for my children, when I wasn't able to go to work because there wasn't anyone to watch my children. And I thank God. I thank God that and I refer to God a lot, but it's the truth. I thank Him. I was able to put all 4 of my children through Catholic school from pre-K all the way up to college, and then some all the way up to high school, and then a couple of them are in college now. So God has been good to me, and I have been blessed. And the one staple that I can say in my life was that my job. I never left my job. I've been at my job for 33 years, and in that time it has supported my family. But there are a lot of women out there that don't have this advantage, and so I hope this series will encourage them to think wisely about who they give their womb to, who they give their uterus to, who they give their body to, and their heart, and then who they decide to have children with. Is this man ethical? Is he moral? Is he noble? Is he the type of man that is going to stick with you and love you and support you? And are you going to do the same for him? If you want a quality man, you're going to have to be a quality woman. This is all I have to say on the subject today. When I go home after the funeral, I'm going to start laying out plans to write the series. And the series will be part of the Kindle Unlimited. As I've talked to you in the past, I talked about doing a series that was specific to Amazon. And I'm thinking, because hypergamy is such a topic, it's such a big topic, that and colorism and things like that, I want to touch on issues that specifically deal with the Black community, the African American community, the African community as a whole, whether they're on the continent or whether they're on the islands or whether they're in the U.S. I want to talk about subjects and things that are specific to us. And colorism would be one, hypergamy would be another, hypogamy, I believe, would be another, where you marry below your standard, and also interracial dating. There's a book out talking about women looking at all your options, African American women or Black women looking at all your options, and not just looking at the African American man or the African man, but looking at who would be the best mate for you. So these are subjects that I'm going to talk about in this series, and like I said, these will be subjects that are specific to my community. Education, the educational system, how we educate our children, who we trust with our children, also rape in our society, and how there's so many unreported rapes, so many young women and men dealing with these type of traumas, violence, homicide, things like that. So as I said, I want to talk about these subjects, but I want to do it in such a way that it doesn't take away from the writing, but it just gives you food for thought. It lets you gives you a glimpse into the lives of some of my characters and some of the things that they're going through. So leave comments below. Let me know what you think. Definitely leave me any input that you have or any suggestions for future storylines. I'm always willing and interested and hearing from you. And thank you for the support. And as always, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you enjoy your day. And as always, love, peace, joy, happiness, and prosperity. Bye-bye.